What is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to break down the 4-game NBA main slate on Sunday. A couple things before I get into the video. If you're new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos talking about NBA DFS as well as NFL DFS. I'm also running a weekly $20 PayPal giveaway on my channel. How it works, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment though per video. So it started with my Monday Night Showdown video that I uploaded last week. We'll go throughout this week and we'll end my Monday Night Showdown video that I'll upload probably later tonight or tomorrow morning. So however many videos I've uploaded for that week, you can end the giveaway that many times. So if I have 10 videos uploaded for the week, you can end the giveaway 10 times. And again, the winner receives $20 PayPal for myself. Also, I just want to thank you guys all for all the support on YouTube comments, in the live streams, on Twitter. I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys all again. But with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. So first, let's look back at my lineup here from Saturday night. So Saturday night went pretty well. Almost took down a tournament. Finished third here. $400 on it was a $40 entry. So can't be mad with 10xing the money. So this is my final lineup here with Russell Westbrook, Elia Kobo, Oubre, Scally BCA, Ersan, Devin Booker, Kent Bazemore, and James Harden. So I was going back and forth with what game I wanted to stack, whether it be the Houston-Phoenix game or the Philadelphia and Washington game. Again, if you guys knew, like it was really close for me. It was like Beal and a couple of Philly guys, or stack this game. I ended up going with this game. Both games went pretty well, right? Beal won off, but with no Rubio, with no Ayton. There's just a lot of usage to go around for the Phoenix side. So I went with a Kobo who picked up the start at 3.2K. He stood out as a really good value play once he got announced starting. Oubre, really liked him at that price. Booker as well. Booker, a little bit disappointing, right? But I would go back there again just to get just a really up-tempo game. He had kind of an off night, but still didn't kill you. Scally BCA was key. He was really low owned, and I talked about him in the live streams. Once Melo got ruled out, He got a lot of run at the game before, and he got a good amount of run at the 4 in this game. I think he got like 25 minutes or so, killed it at min price, 28 fantasy points, so he was key. Ran it back with both Westbrook and Harden. Again, kind of just full game stack, that Houston-Phoenix game. And then ran it back with Scal and Kent Bazemore, who also got a boost with no Melo. So all in all, it was a really, really good night. Again, almost took down a tournament, but let's see if we can keep it going here for the small slate on Sunday. But it's actually a pretty decent slate. The heading for this slate should be revenge narrative, right? There's a lot of revenge narratives for this short little slate. So let's just jump into it. Before we get into the prices, let's look at the over-unders and the spreads. So this Dallas-Toronto game is not on the main slate, so we don't have to worry about that. Charlotte and Boston sitting at 209.5. Boston favored by 13. So there is some blowout risk here. The Pacers Bucks sitting at 219.5. The Bucks favored by 7.5. Clippers Thunder 221. The Clippers favored by 2. Nuggets Lakers at 208 with the Lakers favored by 3.5 points. So let's jump into it, and let's start with center today. So Anthony Davis at the top at 10.1K, still dealing with that ankle injury. We got LeBron James listed as doubtful, so that's huge. That changes the whole slate with LeBron now most likely out. Anthony Davis becomes a smash play, even in a tougher spot. I don't care. With no LeBron, I will be going right back, or I will go to the well with Anthony Davis. Again, I know what I'm getting into with playing him. There's always a chance he leaves the game with an injury. He is dealing with an ankle injury too, but that's a risk I'm willing to take on the small slate. Jokic at 9.2K, I really like the price on him. I know it's a tougher spot here, but he has been really, really solid, filling up the stat sheet back to his old ways, like he was last year, getting triple-double upside every single game. He's priced below 10K, so I really like Jokic. I think it's you can definitely pair him with Anthony Davis. Now, Sabonis, this is pretty big news. Listed as questionable. If he misses, then a guy like Miles Turner probably gets a pretty big boost. I think he probably gets over 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes, so he'd become a really, really solid value play, even in a tough spot against Milwaukee. So this is something we'll have to monitor. If Sabonis plays, I don't mind him. You guys know I love Sabonis. I think he's a fair play, but I wouldn't go out of my way to play him in a tougher spot there against the Bucks. Now, Montrez stands out as a pretty solid play. I got my Montrez Harrell shirt on. I don't know if you guys can see that, but let's see. So there's Kawhi Leonard is doubtful. Yeah, Doc Rivers says Kawhi Leonard, he doubts that he will play. So, that's a huge boost to those other guys in the big three, or the big four, I should say, with Paul George, who was a revenge game. I'll talk about that in a bit. Montrez and Lou Williams. Yeah, I think Montrez, again, gets about 30 or so minutes in a close game. So he stands out as a pretty solid option there at that price. Again, no Kawhi Leonard. That's a lot of usage to go around. Still no PJ Washington. Cody Zeller actually came off the bench, got limited a little bit, only 23 minutes. I liked it when he's playing closer to 30, so he's a riskier option. He is a guy that is pretty productive when he gets time, so you could still go there. Possibly they might move him back in the starting lineup. We'll see, but if he comes off the bench, he's just a riskier option because the minutes aren't as secure. Steven Adams at 6K, don't mind him. He's a guy that will get, 25 to 30 minutes. He's been pretty solid. He's had, a couple upside games here at the 40 and 33 fantasy points in 2 of the last 4. So no issue. I think he stands out as a safe option. I just don't think he has enormous upside. Now, a guy like Miles Turner at 5.1 definitely intrigues me, especially if Sabonis misses. I think he would have to play probably over 30 minutes. There is some blowout risk, but at his price at 5.1K, doesn't worry me too much. The blowout would worry me more if I'm playing a guy like Giannis, who's priced way up, and then if he busts, it kind of hurts you. So Miles Turner, yeah, definitely would look there if Sabonis misses. I think he would probably get over 30 minutes. So that's something we have to keep an eye on. Bismack Biyombo here at 5K. The minutes kind of went down for him. He'll probably get about 20 to 25, not a super high upside guy. So at 5K, I'll probably pass. Brook Lopez, talked about liking him as well in the last game against the Knicks. 27 minutes, 38 fantasy points. Now, it was a tough call with him and Ersan. Once Ersan got announced starting, I just had to lean towards Ersan yesterday because he was a lot cheaper. But Brook Lopez has been solid last couple of games. And I don't think we can expect 7 blocks again, right? But, 4.9K, now you're almost, paying a premium for him. I liked him when he was, in the low 4s. Now almost up to 5K. Don't mind him. And if you want to ride the hot hand, you can. Enes Kanter intrigues me here at this price. The minutes have been somewhat consistent for him the last 3 games, 24, 21, 22. So if he's going to continue to play over 20 minutes, he's always a guy you can look to for GPPs, right? Because he's a guy that's always productive when he gets that time. Charlotte, really, really bad, with rebounds. So Enes Kanter could have a double-double here. So I think he stands out as an interesting GPP play. Paul Millsap is once again questionable. If he misses, we could look to a guy like, blanking on it, Jeremy Grant. So that's something we have to keep an eye on. Let's see. Dwight Howard and McGee. So with LeBron doubtful, these guys actually could pick up a few extra minutes. I don't think it's like the smash spot when Anthony Davis misses where you play both Dwight and JaVale McGee. But I think, Anthony Davis plays a lot more at the 4 and maybe these two guys split the center minutes. I don't know. We'll see. I do have some interest in Dwight and McGee though. And again, Denver runs big. They got Jokic, they got Plumlee, they got Millsap if he plays. So Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, very, very much in play. So I'm definitely considering those guys as cheap options. I don't think they're the smash spot again, like I would play them when Anthony Davis was out. But with LeBron out, again, there's just a lot of minutes to go around. So I think Anthony Davis shifts more to the 4. Maybe these guys split the center minutes. We'll see. So I do have some interest in Dwight. I do have some interest in JaVale McGee at their prices. Daniel Tice at 4.2K. He's been okay. He's kind of getting the same minutes as Kanter, right? They're getting about 22 or so. I personally would pay a little bit more for Kanter just because I think his upside is a little bit higher than a guy like Daniel Tice. Plumlee at 4.2 is viable. And an interesting thing is when Millsap was out in the game against New York, he played 34 minutes. Played a lot alongside Jokic, we don't normally see that a lot. So I wonder, since the Lakers run big, if Millsap is out, if Denver would run Plumlee at the 4. I think there's a possibility that could happen. And if he gets minutes at the 4, I think he gets over 20 minutes. And at that price, he would stand out as a really solid value play. So another guy that we definitely can consider. Again, I think he would get a boost if Paul Millsap does miss. Jeremy Grant here, 3.9. Again, he would probably pick up the start if Millsap is out. I think he gets about 25 to 30 minutes. He's definitely a viable option here at 3.9K. But I might prefer, taking the shot on Plumlee if Millsap misses. We'll see. Again, that's all something we have to monitor going throughout the day with the availability of Paul Millsap. So Ersan picked up the start last game for Wesley Matthews. If Wesley Matthews is out again, Ersan starts, I would have some interest here. He only played 19 minutes. The game did blow out. I think if the game stays close, he probably gets maybe 25 minutes. And at this price, we know Ersan's a pretty productive guy. So another one of those value guys that's very, very much in play. There's a lot of solid, value bigs here with Ersan, with Plumlee and Grant, with the two Lakers guys, Cantor and Brook Lopez for a little bit more. So those are all guys I'm very much considering on this short little slate. Zubac at 3.6K. Actually don't mind the price on him either. Another one I think you can consider. He's a riskier option, right? Because he's not going to play huge minutes. Probably about 15, maybe 20. But the upside is there on him. He has flashed it, right? He is a guy that can get you like 25 to 30 in limited time. So another one that you can very much consider with those cheap value bigs. But that's basically what I got here for center. So let's move on to power forward. Giannis at the top at 11K is stands out as a really good play at that price. Again, the concern with him always is the blowout. Talked about the Knicks. He only got 26 minutes, got 58 fantasy points. Now, that didn't kill you, but it definitely hurts when he only plays 3 quarters, right? So if you think this game stays close, if you think the Pacers can keep this game close, which I think there's a decent chance, right? What's the overall? It's 7.5 points. So there is a decent chance this game does stay close. Whenever you can project Giannis to play 4 quarters, you gotta like him. The price is down, so he's very much. I'm very much considering him as a spend up. Again, it's all about whether or not you think Milwaukee keeps this game close. If you do, you probably play Giannis there. Again, I like Anthony Davis a lot with no LeBron. Kawhi Leonard doubtful. So Paul George, Montrezl Lou all get a huge usage bump. Tatum, so him and Brown have been really solid here. With no Marcus Smart, with no Gordon Hayward, who I believe, let me confirm that. I believe I saw he already got ruled out. Let's see. Yeah, Gordon Hayward ruled out. So those big 3 are the ones I have the most interest in here for the Boston side with Tatum, Brown, and Kemba. And I think all 3 stand out as pretty solid plays at their prices. So Gallinari, don't mind him here at 6.7, but the price is creeping up. Yeah, Gordon Hayward got ruled out. Let's see. Other options. Marvin Williams. So, kind of him, Biyombo, and Cody Zeller all get about, 20 to 25 minutes. Marvin Williams is the cheapest of the 3, so I guess he would be my favorite, but still don't feel great about it with those Charlotte bigs. JaMychal Green is questionable. This is something we have to keep an eye on. He's been dealing with that back injury. He's missed a good amount of games. If he misses, you could look to a guy like Mo Harkless. Normally, I don't really consider Mo Harkless, but with, Kawhi most likely missing, I think Mo Harkless maybe gets a little bit extra run. So you could consider him as a value play. He's a pretty low usage guy, right? But I think he would be in play if Kawhi's out, which he is doubtful. So don't expect him to play. Now, Kyle Kuzma stands out as a really solid play as well here. Let's just probable that ankle injury. So, the concern is they might limit him because he's been out since December 11th. So we'll see. But, with LeBron James doubtful, I think Kuzma will have to play big minutes. But again, we will. That's something we'll have to monitor with whether or not he's going to be on a minutes limit. If he's not going to be on a minutes limit, then I love him at this price. I think he stands out as one of the best value plays. If he is going to be on a minutes limit, we'll see, right? If he's on like a 15 minutes limit, obviously couldn't go there. If he's on like a 25 minutes limit, I would still consider him at this price. So, he stands out as a really solid play. Again, we've got to keep an eye on what if there's going to be a minutes limit on Kyle Kuzma. And that's basically it for power forward. So let's move on to small forward. Already talked about Giannis. Again, I love him if you think the game stays close. LeBron, doubtful. So that's a huge usage boost to Anthony Davis. Definitely Kyle Kuzma as a value play. Those 2 bigs with Dwight and JaVale McGee, I think maybe get a little bit extra run. I'll talk about some other Lakers too. Paul George stands out as a really solid play at this price. A revenge game narrative as well, and no Kawhi Leonard. So when Kawhi's out, he just gets a huge usage boost. I think this game has a good chance to stay close. Normally that is a concern with these Clippers, but with no Kawhi in the game at OKC, it's only a 2-point spread. So I do have a lot of interest here in Paul George as well at this price. I think he has some pretty big upside. Again, Tatum, Brown, Those two and Kemba all stand out as pretty solid plays. With no Marcus Smart still and with no Gordon Hayward. Especially Jaylen Brown has been really solid the last couple games. 40 and 48 fantasy points. He's filling up the stat sheet. So both those guys very much in play as well. Let's see, Middleton, don't mind him. I think he stands out as a safer option. Did have 44 fantasy points in only 24 minutes against the Knicks. But yeah, like I said, when you think the Bucks games are going to stay close, you target Giannis. You can definitely target Middleton. It's still no Bledsoe. I think he gets over 30 in a close game. So he's someone that I would very much consider playing if you think the Bucks or if you think the Pacers keep this game close. Will Barton at 6.2K finally had a kind of off game, only 19 fantasy points. But the thing with him is he's playing the big minutes, about 35 or so. He's filling up a stat sheet, so no issue if you want to go Will Barton there at that price. Other options like DiVincenzo, Warren, Bridges, not super high on those guys. Lamb is questionable once again. If he misses, a guy like Aaron Holiday picked up a start, played about 30 minutes. We could look there. Justin Holiday got a little bit more run as well. Not super high in him, though, at that price. So like guys like Danny Green and KCP, you can always take shots on these guys. I think both those guys had a pretty solid game in that game against Milwaukee. Danny Green played 35 minutes. KCP played 34. Obviously these guys get a usage bump with no LeBron. So you can very much consider Danny Green, very much consider KCP. The issue with these guys is they kind of stand in the corner, shoot threes. Both don't do a whole lot with the peripheral stats, but I think both are very much viable because if they're knocking down the shots, they have upside, right? They flashed it that last game. So both Danny Green and KCP, don't mind them. They're standing out as just a bit riskier options because they're so scoring dependent. But that's basically it for small forwards. Let's move on to shooting guard. Let's see. So Brogdon, revenge game narrative as well, returning to Milwaukee. And with the possibility of no Sabonis, he would stand out as a really good play at this price. Now, again, there would be some blowout risk if Sabonis misses. I think there would be a greater chance. But, if he does miss, Brogdon would be the number one guy. And then also Miles Turner would get a boost as well. So would very much consider Malcolm Brogdon if Sabonis misses. Even if Sabonis plays, don't mind him. Again, revenge game. He's at 7.1K. He probably gets over 30 minutes in a close game. So, that's something we have to monitor going in or later today. SGA has had two pretty solid games, 40 and 44 fantasy points, 20 and 32 real-life points. Have no issue if you want to go there, but the price is creeping up, 7K. Don't mind it. Terry Rozier revenge game. So I just thought I'd bring it up. Him and Kemba in the same spot earlier this year, both busted big time. So just take that for what you want. He's been good last couple games, 51 and 42 fantasy points, 35 and 29 real-life points. Again, revenge game narrative, but both those guys did bust the last time they played each other. Jamal Murray is always viable, right? The upside is there. We know the minutes will be there as well. 33, 33, 36, 36. He's had two upside games last couple of games, 41, 49 fantasy points. So he also stands out as a pretty solid option. Lou Williams, him, Montrez, Paul George, I all have a good amount of interest in with no Kawhi Leonard. I think, in a close game, Lou Williams and Montrez both get over 30. I think Paul George probably pushes 35. So those three I all have a good amount of interest in. Schroeder, if you want to continue to ride the hot hand, I have no issue. He's been amazing the last four games. 34, 34, 44, 42 fantasy points. He's filling up the stat sheet too, right? 6 assists, 7 assists, 9 boards, 3. Like, he's doing it all. And he's playing the big minutes too, over 30, like 30 to 35 minutes. So, right now for his level of production, he is underpriced. And if you're a guy that likes riding the hot hand, no issue with him at this price. I think, like I said, for his level of production right now, he is underpriced. Pat Beverly, at this price, I think gets over 30 or about 30 minutes in a close game. He stands out as a pretty solid option. Again, the game against the Spurs did blow out, but I think he would be probably my favorite secondary piece there in the Clippers. Again, Lou, Montrez, and Paul George as the main guys, but Pat Beverly also stands out as a decent option in the mid-tier there. George Hill at 4.8K. Only played 13 minutes in the game. It did blow out. I think in a close game, he probably gets 20 to 25. The thing is, though, I liked him in that high 3, low 4 range. Now he's at 4.8. I don't know if there's enough meat on the bone there. Aaron Holiday, you could look to him if Jeremy Lamb does miss. I think he gets about 25 to 30 minutes. He would be an okay value play for sure. see, Wanamaker, probably gets 20 to 25 minutes. 3.9K. Don't think we have to do it. I think I'd prefer the value bigs here, which I already talked about, and some other guys as well. But I think that is basically, what was Malik Monk's minutes last game? Only 18. Yes, I don't think I could do that. So let's move on to point guard. Again, LeBron, doubtful. So literally the whole Lakers get a bump. So we can very much consider a lot of the Lakers today, even in a tougher spot. Devontae Graham at 7.6. Yeah, okay. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to play him, though. Chris Paul at 7.2. Revenge game narrative, right? This is, the headline of this slate is there's so many guys in revenge spots. At this price, he has flash upside, 60 and 43 in 2 of the last 4 games. But it just makes it tricky when you got guys like, Anthony Davis with no LeBron. You got, Giannis. You just have a lot of good spend up options. So it makes it tricky for, a guy like Chris Paul at 7.2K. You could go more contrarian, which would be, in my opinion, a mid-tier build with, maybe Chris Paul, Brogdon. Some of those guys in the mid-tier range. I wouldn't mind that. I think that's just going to be more contrarian today. So Rondo stands out as a really good play at this price. I know he only played 18 minutes. I know he was disappointing in that last game. But with no LeBron James, we'll see who they end up starting. Could be Rondo at the point. They could do a lot of things with their starting lineup, right? But if Rondo ends up picking up the start, he'd become probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite value play at this price. I think he gets 25 to 30 minutes. He's a guy that fills up the stat sheet. Again, no LeBron. I think he gets a lot more run at the point. So I would like Rondo a lot if he starts. Even if he comes off the bench, I would still like him at that price. So we'll keep an eye on who the Lakers end up starting, but I really like him at that price point. Bradley is a guy at that price. He's in that range of, with KCP and Danny Green. Now, he only played 18 minutes that last game, but he's no longer on a minutes limit. So we'll see. And the Lakers, they said they will insert him back in the starting lineup soon. If he ends up starting at that price, I don't mind him. Again, he's in that same tier of KCP and Danny Green, of score-independent guys. But, if they're knocking down those shots, they can get you there. And that is basically it. So this is a really interesting 4-game slate. Again, a lot of revenge spots. There's some good value, right, with no LeBron. Those Lakers guys like Rondo, Kuzma, those 2 bigs with Dwight and McGee. You can take shots in those shooters with like KCP, Danny Green, Avery Bradley. There's some injuries we're waiting on, right? LeBron is there. He's not ruled out yet. He's doubtful, so I don't expect him to play. We got Kawhi doubtful as well. Sabonis is questionable. That's something we have to keep an eye on. Paul Millsap questionable. Jeremy Lamb questionable. So there's a lot of stuff we're waiting on. So that's why it's important to follow me on Twitter, guys. That will be in the description below, as well as check out the live stream. Since it's a smaller slate, only 4 games, I'll probably be live streaming 30 minutes before lock on my YouTube channel. So be sure to follow me on Twitter if you don't, as well as check out the live stream again. I'll be live streaming 30 minutes before lock on my YouTube channel, answering any questions you guys have. But I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content, would really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe. And I will be back for another video to break down the NBA main slate on Monday. I'll have that video up probably later tonight, as well as my showdown video for Monday. I'm also going to upload the Sunday night showdown video right after this for the Chiefs and the Bears. So be on the lookout for that video if you're interested in that. But thanks again for everyone to come and check out the video, and I will see you guys later in the live stream.